It's the episode after the live pod, so we are not getting shit-faced. We already are. But in the spirit of doing the disclaimer, I will say, before we get absolutely shit-faced, I'd like to remind everybody that this podcast contains two very pissed up gays of their opinions, rants and raves in life, and overall explicit content which we know you will love. Everyone and anyone is welcome to this podcast, so strap yourselves in, pour yourself a large one, down it just like us, and let's get this going and read between the wines. Shameless little bit of editing here, so we're just slotting this into the start of the episode before the episode that we've actually recorded already, just to say that we apologise for the slight delay in getting this one out. Sometimes we just need to run this by and make sure that it passes all vetting and legal routes before we go out, just because we don't want to piss anyone off and we can't be bothered with a fucking lawsuit.
Yeah.
So we're really sorry that it's late. But it's here now, and if you're listening to this, that means it's passed all of its checks, and we're not going to say that we might not offend or disgust people with this episode, because we always do. But yeah, if you're listening to this, then it's passed. So
safe for broadcast.
Safe for broadcast, so we're really sorry it's late.
Sorry.
But it's here. So with that, let's go straight back in to the episode that was recorded. So we'll see you in a second.
Bye.
Drinking the nice wine. Thank you to the, I say, sponsor.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
For agreeing to sponsor us for the live episode.
And what better sponsor than a wine company?
Well, yeah. And you know what I completely forgot to do on that night was give everyone the discount code.
Well, they're just going to have to listen to today's episode.
Yeah, so if you got to listen to this episode to get the discount, but if you head over to the Nice Wines website and use discount code ReadBetweenTheWines10, you can get a pretty little discount on wine.
Our little gift back to the world.
The little gift back to the world. Anyway, I'm not drinking nice wine. Actually, I'm drinking a ginger shot. Because it's the episode after the big live show.
Yeah, exactly.
Which probably do need a little bit of a detox after that.
They probably do. It was a heavy night.
It was a very heavy night.
But well-deserved heavy night.
Well-deserved heavy night. It all came together quite well. We just want to say massive thank you to everybody that listens to this podcast that came.
Indeed.
And enjoyed the show with us.
Yeah.
Also got drunk. Enjoyed the wine that we put on. I don't know if it was nice wine or not, so I apologise if it was shit. But it was free and we all have a freebie, right?
Exactly. Everyone loves some free wine.
So, actually went down quite well, didn't it?
Yeah, we did a great job, and it was a great night and great fun.
Y'all drunk the place dry. I'm just going to try it. Have you tried this yet?
Yeah, it's really nice.
I took it earlier. I gagged.
Not the first time.
My gag reflex is usually amazing, but I'm going to try it.
I like ginger shots. Sometimes they are quite spicy, but I like the apple in this one.
I've taken a shot by many a ginger. Fucking hell, it's only a couple of minutes in.
Here we go.
But anyway, yeah, so really massive thank you to everybody that turned up on the night. We were in fact, we were over capacity.
We were, yeah. People were cramming their way in.
Well, yeah, well,
forcing your thumb in.
Are we talking about what we're talking about now? That many people cram their way in. This whole episode is going to be just a whole episode of euphemisms, isn't it? But yeah, so yeah, at capacity. In fact, we had to go get seating for people. So
we did.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody for turning up. Taking part,
exactly,
well.
getting involved.
The audience participation
we loved the back and forth.
We did. So massive thank you, but obviously, recharge, rest, catch up on sleep, and then on to the next one.
Indeed,
suppose,
yeah, exactly.
Which is not in the plans right now.
TBC.
Very good night, but yeah.
Yeah.
We need a recharge. So Absolutely. Please continue to actually listen.
Yeah, please do.
We did toy with the fact of putting it up so this is episode 31.
Indeed, yeah.
So there will be a gap between 29 and 31. We were debating whether we would put the live one up, but we've decided to not put it up. No. And that was just a treat for people that, came.
Exactly.
But we do have a video.
Yeah, we do.
Which shows, everything that we did that night and covered. So yeah, if you were there and you relived it with us, or lived it with us, should I say, thank you so much.
Absolutely, yeah.
But this is episode 31. Episode 30 will just be I don't know,
a special memory for.
yes, that's what I'm looking for, a memory. But please come to the next one.
Indeed, yeah, exactly, yeah.
But yeah, also massive thank you to the Royal George, who was the perfect
Absolutely.
venue.
They were great.
Everyone was great. It was a great venue. I loved the venue, the part of the venue that we had
Oh, it was
staged.
perfect.
Even though the sound and the visuals tested our fucking patience.
But we got there.
We got there.
We got there.
We've learned a lot about
To be
what
honest,
to
it's-
do and what not to do for a live episode. So that's good for us. It was a
Indeed.
learning curve.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. So yeah, massive thank you to everybody. The love and the support was amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Had a great night.
What was your standout moment?
My standout moment. Oh, I don't know. I think having to relive the conversation about sucking off a carrot was maybe not a high point, but hey, I said it. It's out there in the world, so.
I mean, yeah, everyone heard that night. You know. But those that were there listened already, so they probably
Yeah,
knew,
no,
they
that's
probably knew
true,
about
yeah.
your carrot escapades before the live one.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. It was a night full of highlights. Just, you know, I won't lie. I was nervous before going on because I'm obviously not a trained actor like yourself.
But I don't act on this podcast.
No, you don't. But you're more used to
Live shows.
performing in front of people, and it's not my natural mode, my natural setting.
I mean, I've not been on a stage like that for a long ass time. So to say that I was nervous as well. I mean, I wasn't like, I don't think I was as nervous as you. But then that's, as you said, like it's my back in the day. I was on, I treaded the boards many a times. So yeah,
Exactly.
it was. But it did feel different. But yeah, it was great. I think a stand-up moment for me, one of the, I mean, there was loads. I agree. But I did like the guy, and I really feel really bad. I can't remember his name, but I was like a bit drunk at this point. I was fucked on that stage. I'm not gonna lie. But the guy that worked in the healthcare sector,
I want to say his name was Stuart, or I don't know why.
I don't know if he listens to this and we've missed.
So sorry.
If we've said his name wrong, he's going to fucking hate us. Anyway, he was one of the highlights for me.
He was, yeah.
Really, I loved everyone there, but he did like. I loved that. He almost heckled us a little bit, and
it worked so well though, because like I don't know, it was just the stories he shared just like so complimented everything we were talking about as well.
Yeah. But the highlight for me was just everyone being there, being part of episode 30. We've only been doing this for 30 weeks, and what we've achieved in 30 weeks is amazing. Some podcasts, I mean, I've seen many a podcast that have been doing this for over a years, and haven't done a live show. So
absolutely,
yeah. But anyway, current news. I think the first thing we need to talk about is Luana, the podcast.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
the week later,
the week one, yeah,
the follow-up show, the follow-up act
was fucking amazing. What a night that was. Again, I feel like I was just topping up from our one. It was quite the boozy night.
It was a great show. It was a great experience for us.
And like us, they also had a couple of sound issues. Well, I didn't notice them, but other people have said that they noticed them, but I personally don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
No.
But if they did, makes us all human, babes, doesn't it? Makes our podcast seem fine.
Absolutely. Hey, I think it was a great night as well, and you know, to the effort we put in, the experience we had. Do you want to talk about the photos?
Well, we had photos of them, which was amazing.
And Russell Kane as well.
Russell Kane. But anyway, back to our podcast. Our podcast was very good as well, guys.
Ours was excellent. Ours was excellent.
Please, if you go over to Spotify or any platform, listen to ours. But yeah, it was fantastic. I think another story which hit the headlines this week, and I don't know how I feel. Oh, actually, before we go into news, can we just talk about the lovely read between the wines sign that the lovely Jenny and Jodie gave us at the live show?
Absolutely.
It's now taking pride of place in this little pink studio that we've got. It lights up.
It does.
So thank you both so much. That honestly, things like that, like if people are going to buy us a gift or people are going to give us a little memento for the live show, that is it.
Yeah, it was so touching. We wasn't expecting any gifts from anyone. Loads of people bought some.
I know, it was so sweet. Everyone was so sweet, but I love this one in particular. And what I do love about it, and Jenny makes me laugh, and she said that obviously it's typical Jenny. is that it was like her. To be honest, when I opened it, I didn't notice.
Well, the two of us spent ages trying to work out after. I mean, we were pissed, I know, but we couldn't spot it.
I love that it says read between the lines, and Jenny has tweaked it to make it read between the lines. You wouldn't notice the fucking difference. But what I will say is, for the first 10 or 11 weeks of this podcast, I was calling it that. It's my fucking podcast. It's my podcast. We came up with the name, and I was still getting it wrong. I remember like hashtagging it, and I had to go back and think, oh god, that's not what it's called. That's not what it's called. It's not Lions. So it's such an easy.
So
thing
you've
to
only
do.
got yourself to blame, babe.
So yeah, but I love it. Like in fact, I think I love it more now that it's personalised to make it read that.
Oh, completely.
I think I prefer that. But anyway, it's taking pride of place.
He has.
So yeah, thank you
neon,
so
neon
much.
nightmare.
Neon nightmare. There's nothing nightmare about this room. Oh god, adjusting myself a little bit. Anyway, back to news. So Sophie Ellis Bextor hit the headlines this week, paying tribute to those who lost their lives in the 2015 terrorist attack.
Indeed.
In the Bataclan in Paris.
Yes.
I hope I've said that right.
Yeah, that's right, I think.
And she paid tribute by dedicating her song "Murder on the Dance Floor" to those who lost their lives in their attack.
Is that a little bit?
Well, I don't know how I feel about this, because she was saying that it was the perfect tribute, but I can't help but think, if my family member died in that arena on the dance floor, or whatever you want to call it,
yeah.
and then she goes in and she pays tribute to them by singing "Murder on the Dance Floor," I can't help but think that's a little bit shady, babes.
Yeah, I think her PR team maybe should have thought a little bit more about that before they agreed to let her do
You
that.
say this, but then when I've been reading the news about it, it's all been very positive, and now I just can't help but think that just sounds like wrong.
To be fair, it's gone under the radar slightly more than some other news stories.
But girl, come on, if you're gonna pay I just don't know. When I read that story, I was like, that doesn't sit well with me at all.
No.
Just talk about, that's like ultimate gaff, isn't it?
It does. It's like, what was it during September the 11th where I said they to bury bad news? All those politicians talking about burying bad news. Jesus, choose your timing. Choose your timing. Fuck's sake. I mean, I know I put my foot in it sometimes, but never that badly.
God. Anyway, yeah, I didn't know how I feel about that. But yeah, good on you, girl. But I probably wouldn't have dedicated that song of all songs.
Nice idea. Hell. Execution needs to be a little bit better.
Well, actually, I've got a quote from her. Yeah, I spoke to her and I didn't speak to her, but this is a quote from her. And she was quoted by saying, this song is to bring joy and music to the dance floor. So in a tribute to that spirit and in tribute to everybody who's ever danced at this arena, this is Murder on the Dance Floor.
Okay. I still think it's a little bit...
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be happy about it. I wouldn't be happy about it.
More questionable than some of the ideas in this podcast.
Sounds like the sort of thing I'd do.
Sounds like the kind of thing I'd say.
Yeah, it does sound like more like you than me. Anyway, whatever. If I mean, she's come out quite well from it, but yeah. I can't help but think that'll come back to haunt her.
I think that this now gives me, free range to basically say whatever I like on this podcast and not get any.
Well, no, because we've got.
I'm not Sophie Ellis Bextor.
Got to be fucking vetted by legal.
Yeah.
This episode's definitely going to have to be checks. Fucking hell. Moving on to Queer Eye. Jonathan Van Ness hit the headlines after being accused of bad behaviour in a tell-all expose by Rolling Stones magazine. He's been accused of being abusive and a nightmare on the set of the show and has been quoted as having rage issues. I mean, I have not really watched too much of Queer Eye until recently.
Okay.
But I can see it.
So I used to watch it a lot. I stopped watching it more recently. I don't know why. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean...
I couldn't work with that fucking arsehole. I like some of them, but him I don't like. Them, sorry, I don't like. Yeah, I can see that there's rage issues there. I can see that there's probably a diva, but then I think we're in the world now where this is acceptable.
Maybe
in Hollywood.
Do you think they were like that at the start, or what do you think they've grown into that?
I don't know enough about it. I've only been watching it recently, but from what I can see, I can imagine that being it's the Ellen DeGeneres, how do you say her name? DeGeneres.
Yeah.
Is that how you say
like
it?
a degenerate.
I know, I was about to say that.
Or maybe it's Ellen DeGeneres, I don't know.
I don't know, but she's a fucking bitch as well,
yeah,
isn't she?
I've heard she's an absolute slag.
I'm just going to get my actual drink. 1 second.
Yeah, but I have.
Call her a slag.
Oh yeah, but I've heard nothing but horrible things about her. Like not just because of all the furore about her, like staff saying she was a bully, but like guests who've been on it, numerous guests just saying how much.
Imagine if I was a runner on that set and a bitch tried to say something to me.
She wouldn't make it to the next episode.
No, she wouldn't. wouldn't be that many seasons, bitch, because I would have fucking had your head.
As someone who co-hosts with you on this podcast, I can definitely testify to that when that is the case.
Don't know how I was so nice on the live one.
You described me as your enemy, I think, a few days beforehand.
Yeah. Don't know how this has lasted so long. Anyway, yeah. I think we live in a world now where this is acceptable in Hollywood in particular.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be. Because over in here in the UK, imagine that. She'd like, it just, well, I don't know, like.
I mean, it does happen to, hosts on UK TV shows as well. People, famously, Cilla Black was apparently an absolute bitch.
Oh, I can't stand her.
But again, I think people get a bit of fame and celebrity.
Someone that fucking butt ugly with those teeth ever make it in the industry?
It was the 70s. There weren't any pretty people in the UK back then.
She looks like if I don't know, like Kevin Keegan and the Angry Kid fucked. Do you know what I mean? Like she's like that big ginger mop and those teeth.
Yeah, it's definitely a vibe that I wouldn't choose to go for. But...
What, Cilla Black?
Yeah.
Oh. And her voice as well. Sorry, I know I'm speaking ill of the dead. I'm just like, ugh. How did you ever get like... Alright, I'm going to stop talking ill of the dead now. Anyway, sorry,
Oh, yeah,
Cilla.
she's dead, yeah.
She's dead, yeah. She died on a balcony, didn't she?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Her son went to my school as well. Fun fact.
Did he have a fucking teeth like that and a face like that?
Yeah, he did. He was a cunt as well.
Oh, we've dropped the C-bomb. Only fucking 10 minutes in. Anyway, let's move on. First ever photos of the humpback whales were mating and were taken. And in fact, it hit the headlines that they were 2 males. So, now we know I mean, I fucked a few whales in my time, to be honest.
And only last week we talked about dolphins being sluts.
Well, they say that, actually. We're talking about dolphins being sluts, but also they are known, dolphins and other animals, dolphins and seals are also known to have gay sex, apparently.
Ooh,
So I don't know how they're measuring all this, but apparently, so the humpback whales, each sex session they've managed to record lasted a total of 2 minutes. Again, sounds like a couple of whales that I've been with in the past. Fucking hell.
I mean, I haven't seen an actual whale in real life, but I can't remember seeing any kind of penis.
Whale porn.
Well, I haven't. Do they have penises?
Well, they must do, I assume, if they're fucking each other. How are they going to fuck then?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Must be something.
Maybe let's fact check this after. But I was trying when I saw this story and I tried to get the photo up. I was so scared to Google it because you just don't know what you're going to get.
Oh, exactly.
Nowadays,
No, absolutely.
Whale porn,
especially not on your work laptop.
Well, no, I'm not doing it on that. But what was it in the episode of Friends? Wasn't he watching like shark porn or something? Chandler.
Oh, I don't remember that episode.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Friends fans that listen to this podcast, please let me know. I'm sure it was an episode where he was either watching whale porn or shark porn. He wasn't watching it, but he said to... What's her name? Courtney Cox's character? Monica. He said that he was watching it. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, apparently, yeah, gay sex now amongst whales. They're flying the flag.
Welcome to the community.
Yeah. Honestly, it could just be a grinder hookup round here, couldn't it? Just 2 fucking whales mating.
How long will it be before there becomes like another tribe?
It will, yeah. I'm a whale. Girl, I can tell.
Your picture says...
that fucking whale. At the fucking podcast, when I look back at me, I thought, oh, this weight gain from all this wine that we've been drinking. Oh. I look like fucking... I look beached on that stage.
No, that's not true. It's not true.
Oh, anyway, yeah, we love the fact that there's gay whales.
Well done, yeah, we love gay whales. All the gay animals.
Gay mammal. Yeah, so if anyone knows of whales that have penises, maybe send us a dick pic.
There we go. God.
I dread to think what we're going to get. And then the only other last thing is Kate Middleton. What the fuck's going on?
Well, I was going to
Where
say...
the fuck is she?
Where the fuck is she?
I
Yeah.
don't know. It's like a fucking episode of Kardashians, isn't it? The Middletons. Where is she? She's disappeared.
I respect, that when you're in that position, you do want a bit of privacy, especially when it comes to your health. But to say nothing, I don't know. It just leads to too much more speculation.
They're saying now that the only way that she can get out of this is if she comes clean and says what's been going on.
Yeah.
Her and Prince William. Because what the fuck is going on? Where the fuck are
Yeah.
they?
Cue the conspiracy theories to say she probably died 2 days before the wedding.
Well, I said this, didn't I?
And a robot replaced
I bet
her.
she's dead. A robot?
Well, that's what then they always say that Paul McCartney died in a car crash years ago.
Oh, they say
and that's
about
not the real
everyone,
Paul
though,
McCartney.
don't they?
Yeah, they do, yeah.
They
But
try
that's
to
what
say,
I mean.
remember when they try to say Michael Jackson was that Burns victim?
Exactly.
I can kind of see that, to be honest.
Just leave it as it is. Just stay in reality. Jesus.
She ain't a fucking robot. She's the future queen.
She is.
She's making Meghan look good at this point, which is fucking ridiculous. Like, come on, Kate. Fucking hell.
Yeah, no, we're still none the wiser to where
I
she
keep seeing
is.
things like she's had a stomach surgery, but then had a Brazilian butt lift at the same time. She's got this big fat ass now, right? No.
Comes back out with like double D cups or something.
Bolt on titties. Coming out a pair of bolt on titties from the last episode of the one before.
Lip filler,
Then she's got a pair of bolt-ons. Oh, that ginger shot's coming up to haunt you. But anyway, yeah, so yeah. Well, yeah, given a lot of the live pod, I suppose, focused on sexual mishaps.
Yeah.
Thank you to, we'll say Stuart. I will fact check that to
Yeah,
make sure
yeah.
it is Stuart. If not, I'll correct myself on the next episode. However, given a lot of it was focused on mishaps, STIs, and I suppose the debate on the worst thing we've seen at the doctoral clinic, I thought it might be a little bit fun to delve into that subject a little bit more. In this episode.
Absolutely, yeah.
We all love a bit of filth, don't we?
Yeah, the number of times we mentioned Dean Street on this podcast, I think it's actually fair.
I've got loyalty cards. Fucking hell. Everyone's like saying those stories at night. I was like, is this just my life? So yeah, I thought it might be fun if we delve into that a little bit because it's actually quite funny.
It is,
and
quite
it wasn't ever meant to be that on the live.
No,
right?
I don't even know how we came onto it. Oh, I think it was one of the stories you read on the night.
It was one of the stories, but then everything kind of turned into just like a mishap, which was fun because, I mean, it makes you realise how much we talk about stuff like that on this episode anyway. I mean, on this podcast anyway, but it was fun. So keeping with that, in honour to... I'm going to say Stuart again. I'm really... Do you know what? I'm going to text Jake quickly.
Yeah, let's ask him.
And I'm going to... let's shout out Pixel Pad UK quickly as well. You do the plug for me.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to thank Pixel Pad for coming down on the night and filming the wonderful show and creating such an amazing video for us.
And also, I will say, the crowd that came with Jake and Pixel Pad UK was absolutely fucking incredible.
Yeah.
From the girls to the guys, like... Everyone was just so good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they were sitting at the front as well. Like, I loved everyone. Everyone was amazing.
Yeah.
But it really was, like, fun having people shout out. And I hate the word heckle, but almost heckle like.
I think it was they interacted.
We encouraged it.
Yeah,
didn't
they
we?
interacted.
We encouraged heckling. So
indeed, we did. Yeah. So thanks everyone for getting involved.
Thank you everyone. Yeah, and Millie, I've got to say thank you to Millie, who turned up, was the first person there. Bless her.
Yeah.
And just is our biggest supporter.
I know. Yeah, absolutely. I think she even helped pour out some of the wine for us as well.
She did.
She did. Thank you, Millie.
And she bought us a bottle as well.
She
So
did.
thank you. We love you. I have text Jay, but to be honest, we have to carry on with this episode. So I'm going to call you Stuart, babes. And if I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. We will correct ourselves next week. But anyway, yeah. So keeping with like the whole vibe of sexual mishaps, doctor's visits, healthcare, working in healthcare.
Indeed.
We thought it might be quite fun to carry on with that. But I suppose before we dive into that, have you ever had any mishaps at the doctor?
I don't know about mishaps. I did have a really awkward situation when I was a kid that my balls got twisted.
Yeah.
But I mean, apparently it's quite common. But it's the first time I've had to have a doctor.
Did you ever get it rectified?
I did. I did. It got me out of PE for a couple of lessons, but apparently it was quite common. And obviously everyone made the joke, oh, you've been wanking too much. No, it wasn't that.
How did they know? You must have told people.
Well, no, I had to go in and give the note to my PE teacher, who was the biggest arsehole around, and decided to say, well, everyone, Danny's had to sit out this time because his balls are twisted.
I would have gone fucking ape.
I think it was one of the 3 times.
Oh, I'm just looking at, it's called testicular torsion. Hell no. Okay, I'm with you now.
Yeah.
So that was what happened.
It was, and again, I had no idea how it happened. They say sometimes it could just, twisted around. But it was fine. But it was the first time I had to go into a doctor's surgery and they had to, like, touch my balls, which was very uncomfortable. I was a teenager, and obviously nowadays that probably counts as sexual misconduct, but...
Sign me up, girl. I had one once. Well, I've got 2, actually. First one, I was only, like, in my early 20s, and this was before I came out, so I was kind of bouncing between men and women, if I'm completely honest. And I went to the doctor. So basically what happened was I was at home and I like put some clothes on in the day, and then towards the end of the day I started to feel a little bit like uncomfortable down there.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got undressed, I looked and I had the worst rash I've ever had all over the inner parts of my thigh towards my crotch and groin, and all over my groin and in my balls and penis. It was basically just horrible, and I thought, what the fuck has happened to me? So I had to go to hospital. It was that uncomfortable, like the skin was peeling. It was so bad. And just as like fucking luck had it, it was the most attractive doctor I've ever seen in my life. She was female, but she was stunning, and I thought, I've got to drop my trousers now and show you this, and it's really embarrassing. Turns out it was the fabric softener that I had at home. I had a really bad allergic reaction. No, I did. I weren't a slut back then. I'm now, but I weren't a slut back then. I was fucking good back then. I was sensible. This was before my slut phase.
Okay.
Before my slut phase.
Okay.
I've never ever had anything like that anyway. No. But anyway, it turns out it was a fucking fabric softener. I've got really sensitive skin, so that really embarrassed me. Second one, I had a little bit of a nip and tuck, let's say, in Harley Street.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago. And I had to wear for 12 weeks this incredibly tight bodysuit, which was from my neck down to my thighs, with just a little hole in where your dick goes to go to the toilet. And it was like really tight. And I remember falling asleep in bed with it on, and the suit had somehow slipped down to my groin and cut off the circulation to essentially my penis.
Oh, God.
And I woke up and it was like the worst bruise, but my whole groin had changed colour. And I thought it was going to fall off. So I had to go rush back into my surgeon to see my surgeon, and she literally just said, essentially, it's just because things are too tight and you're bruising.
Oh my God.
But imagine that, like waking up.
Oh, could you imagine?
It's completely different. I thought it was going to fall off. I thought people are going to think I've gone in for a tummy tuck. I've had sexual reassignment surgery. Fucking hell.
I asked to lose a few pounds, but not off the
of
my dick. Thanks.
I was so embarrassed.
Oh God.
I was like, I've got to show this.
Well, anyway. Thankfully that's all sorted, and it's not
just FYI now, it's all fine now. That was when I was 29.
So when they see you on Grindr, they nothing's what to worry about.
That would be one hell of a dick pic, wouldn't it, to show them that? Oh God.
God. Yeah, no, I've never had nothing I would say is embarrassing like that at all. Thankfully. Let's hope it never does. Although we talked last week about my desire to have a think about my bum at the doctor's, which I've not yet booked, and I don't know if I will now.
We all have
maybe not after this episode.
Well, yeah, after the things we're talking about. But yeah, we all have. I suppose everyone's had sexual mishaps, or not just sex. They don't have to be sexual.
Absolutely,
they can just be embarrassing moments at the doctor.
These things happen.
I know this podcast is always about sex and smut, but it doesn't have to be that. It can be just embarrassing stories.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So with that, let's pull a few stories from some people that it's happened to.
Okay, this
is my favourite part of the podcast, when we hear other people, because it makes us look good. Anyway, this is from Oscar. Hi, Oscar.
Hello, Oscar.
Posh name, innit, Oscar?
Yeah, sometimes.
What do you mean sometimes? Wait, name me a chubby person called Oscar.
Oscar Schindler wasn't a
Who the fuck's that?
The guy who saved all the kids from Nazi Germany.
Oh, fucking hell, it's got a bit deep. Oh, Schindler's List.
Yeah, Oscar Schindler.
Oh, is that where it comes from?
No, I don't think it's the...
Oh, it's a bit of a fucking coincidence.
Anyway, let's carry on to this Oscar, because we're taking a massive diversion here.
No wonder this one's got to be vetted. So anyway, Oscar. I just think of Oscar Pistorius.
Oh yeah, that's another
Oscar Wilde.
Oscar Wilde. I think of Oscar from the US version of The Office as well.
I've never seen that. Was it? Anyway. We're going on. This is from Oscar, and he said, when I was 18, and I had my first STI test with my boyfriend at the time. Oh, he's a gay one.
Okay.
I went to the sexual health clinic and the doctor advised that he would need to undertake an anal swab and told me to hop onto the examination table. I took my pants off and got on all fours on the table and the doctor said, "You can lie on your side." I told my boyfriend at the time what I'd done and he said exactly the same thing. So he was on all fours with his arse in the air.
Well, normally when I get my arse inspected, I'm on all fours.
He's assume the position. So I suppose in the gay world, when someone says they need to stick something at our ass, we just go on all fours.
It's our natural position.
Slats. On all fours, ready to take the finger.
I mean, that's an easy thing to make. Not
imagine,
to know.
Imagine. No, I mean you say that, but I've never actually. Well, actually, to be honest, I've never actually had to have a swab.
Right.
So but I don't think I would go on all fours. I don't think I would do.
Maybe
Surely,
not. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you can take a swab by standing up. Like I've had to do like when I've had a sexual health screening just to be safe. You have to swab sometimes, but they give it to you.
Yeah.
And in my experience, you do it yourself in the toilet. This, I just, oh god, I would have been mortified.
The only other thing I could think of, and obviously it never happened to me, but when they go into prison in the US where you have to squat and cough.
Oh.
Is that, I don't know if that's any better than going on all fours or not.
It sounds like, this is an STI checkup, but it sounds like a really smutty game of Kaplunk. Like those piss sticks that go into that big... Oh, I don't know. Oh, I feel for him.
I do feel for Oscar. Sorry, Oscar. You learned the hard way.
Oh, this one's... Moving on to the... Yeah, exactly. Moving on to this is another swab story, but this is anonymous. Just says anonymous, but it's called the Titanic swab story. Oh, I'm dreading this. So this one says... For my very first test, I needed... Oh, this is another anal swab. We're all loving the anal swabs tonight. For my very first test, I needed an anal swab, and I was pretty nervous when the nurse had me recline on the bed. I tried to break the tension with a paint me like one of your French girls joke. Of course, I had the one nurse in the world that had never seen Titanic, and they made me explain the joke in full while having my arse swabbed, which made the moment even more awkward. God, paint me like one of your French girls. What do you mean?
Why would you even want to say that to a doctor? I don't know. That's a weird thing to. I mean, we all say things in the moment where we're trying to break an awkward silence. I know, but
you just you would just be like, oh my god. Firstly, if we're having to get anal swabs, we're being dirty bitches in the first place. So you wouldn't be one of those pretty dainty French girls.
No, that's very true.
So stop trying to kid everyone. Oh my god, embarrassing. Oh bless. The next one's by someone called Chris.
Okay.
Who said, and this is called, he's just wrote in the waiting room with Tay Tay. Okay. So this one says, I was patiently sitting in the waiting room to get my test done. And the really fantastic and lovely reception staff was choosing a song to put on the TV screen. Clearly he fancied some Taylor Swift, and I leant over and whispered to my friend, God, wouldn't it be inappropriate if he put Bad Blood on in here? Needless to say, he did, and I'll never forget the look I got from a stranger across the waiting room and how oblivious the reception staff was that day. I'm assuming by this it's a HIV test. Fucking hell. Again, that's something you do. That's something you would do.
I don't know many Taylor Swift songs, but the only other one I can think of is like "Out of the Woods" would also not be maybe a better song to play coming out of there. But
God.
yeah, God,
Was there a Taylor Swift? We spoke about Taylor Swift last week or the week before about something like that. There's something along the Sophie Ellis Bextor joke.
yeah, I don't know.
I can't fucking remember.
I can't remember.
Might have
Either.
been on the live
I do
one, I
remember
don't know.
talking about Taylor Swift at some point.
Oh my God. He's like saying that everyone in the waiting room's looking at each other thinking, this is so inappropriate. The reception.
Now we've got bad blood and no one can solve it. Isn't it something like that for lyrics? Where you won't be solving it if it is bad. Jeez Louise.
Jesus Christ.
Who was that, Chris? Oh dear. Sorry, Chris.
This one is really short and sweet, and it's anonymous, and it says, I went in for a prostate exam, and when the doctor was performing it, I ejaculated everywhere. She said it was common, but I was so embarrassed.
Oh my God.
So I've seen those pornos where have you ever seen those where
Well, they do say I've not seen them, but they do say tickling it can.
oh yeah, I've been there.
stimulate
Do you know what? I've had to do that so many times, and people just don't fucking, like in the past where they just won't finish, and you think, oh, I didn't think it worked once. I didn't think it worked until I was seeing this French guy.
Okay.
And he just one day, like, he was like, wouldn't stop. So I thought, oh, I'll give that a go, and it fucking worked within seconds.
Really?
It like finished. I was like, oh, this is good to know. Like, God, if people just can't.
Stick a finger.
Yeah.
No, I might have to try that.
Works. I don't know if I'd like that.
Never tried it.
I've never tried it either. I mean, I've had fun, shall we say? Fucking hell. But not to finish. Like, I don't know if I would. Oh, maybe I would like it. Who knows?
It's like the big red button to launch a nuclear missile attack.
Like episode of The Voice.
Ejaculate.
I imagine coming all over the fucking bed though if you were in a doctor's appointment. Anyway, yeah, there's these pornos from back in the day. I've not actually seen them, but I've seen them come up. Is when like, I don't know what it is, but it's this essentially is this person with like latex gloves on, and she's giving these men like a wax.
Okay.
Like she's waxing like their private areas, and it makes them ejaculate.
Okay.
I can't help but think it's very staged, but it reminds me of this. Oh my God! It's like when you go for a massage, isn't it? And they go a little bit high on the leg.
Oh yeah,
sometimes gets you a little bit aroused.
Yeah.
Until she looks like fucking Miss Trunchbull coming in. Maybe not.
Maybe that's why they make most masses. Well, no, not all masses are butt ugly, but
That's a really horrible thing to say.
but there we go. That's my
God.
Sophie Ellis Bextor murder on the dance floor
Coming up-
comment done for the day.
coming on the hospital table, Angela.
Yes, not the situation you want to find yourself in any way.
Oh, bless. How embarrassing. This next one is by someone that's just called himself Totes MC.
Okay.
It says, I'm kind of kinky. Sometimes I'll go out wearing a butt plug and a pair of my wife's panties beneath my normal clothing. No one else can tell, but even the idea is hot for me. What the fuck has that got to do with a hospital appointment? Oh, sorry, I've only read part of it.
Okay.
Ignore me.
There's more to this story.
We'll start it again.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm kind of kinky. I'll go out wearing a butt plug and a pair of my wife's panties beneath my normal clothing. No one else can tell, but the idea is even so hot for me. One day, I was doing just that, and I got into a car accident, and I was rushed to the hospital. I had to be stripped down so they could make sure I was okay. I'm sure a nurse had to remove my panties and the butt plug. Even more was embarrassing when she gave it back to me after I was getting changed into my hospital gown. Imagine putting a butt plug in and then having to go to the hospital.
I mean, people do worry, don't they, about not wearing the nicest of underwear or something and getting into an accident and having that peel off these horrible...
Oh.
But that's even worse, isn't it? Butt plug in you.
I mean, I've been in situations before with an ex where we've done stuff and then they like the idea of me going straight out or straight
Right,
wherever,
yeah.
knowing that we've just been that filthy. But there is no way on God's green earth I would ever leave the house in a butt plug and a pair of my partner's panties. For this reason now.
No, exactly, yeah.
Imagine.
Exactly. No.
Poor nurse as well. Like,
I mean,
actually, he's obviously, this is a straight guy, but he's obviously, they've had to take his trousers down. And first, they've probably seen this like lazy
his wife's
thong.
panties, yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be a thong maybe because he's got a butt plug in. Oh my god.
Either way.
Oh, I hope they sanitise that butt plug.
Give it a say.
I'd be like, I just sat on the gear stick, it's a car accident. It's not a butt plug.
Put a bit of saline drip over it.
It's from the car, don't judge.
Yeah, don't go out in public with your butt plug in.
Yeah, don't go out
Let
with
that be
your
a
butt
warning.
plug in.
Save it for the bedroom.
Yeah, save it for the fucking bedroom. Imagine. Next one is another anonymous. It says, my penis... We got penis story. My penis turned red and splotchy. When I got it checked out, I was referred to a penis specialist, but by my doctor to get an STD check. I accused my girlfriend of cheating on me, and we wound up breaking up after a fight.
Oh, God.
The penis doctor and his female assistant, this person's wrote in brackets, not hot, took a quick look and said, yes, this is sunburn.
How do you get sunburn on your penis?
Sunbed?
Oh, yeah. I know someone who came... I didn't use sunbeds for a long time because this guy said, who didn't know that you shouldn't get on sunbeds naked, which I now know you...
Everyone used to say that to me. I always go on naked.
Yeah, but how you get sunburnt penis and not the rest of you sunburnt? How long was he on for?
I don't know. It says on the plus side, my girlfriend was cheating on me anyway, so whatevs. Oh, imagine, bless. Got a little burnt penis.
You've got to be on there for a long time to burn your penis on a sunbed, surely.
Not if you've never been on before, because that's the most sensitive, and it's hidden by it's hidden,
Fair
so
enough.
it's not exposed to sunlight. So actually, to be honest with you, that will be the first part. That and your nose,
Right.
the tip of your nose, and your top of your ears will probably be the first part to
Okay.
burn. So I can well believe this
Good
story.
to know. Good to know.
Yeah, I still go on naked. Yeah, I don't mind a sunburned penis. We have a this one's just called herself Queen.
Okay.
I went in for my first lady parts check. Oh, how eloquently put.
No, she's queen, the queen.
And the doctor would occasionally put his thumb on my clit and press really hard. I don't know if this was pervy or if it didn't occur to him, but it felt really, really uncomfortable. And it turned me off from ever going back. I thought she was going to say that she loved it.
Yeah.
Maybe if he's pushing on the clit really hard, that probably hurt.
It's quite sensitive. It must be. I think it's quite a sensitive area, right?
When did you become the expert?
Oh, I'm guessing that's why it's such an emotional thing.
Oh, can we just say how when we stood up at Luana, when they asked the question if anyone's ever licked nun before, and we stood up, everyone behind us was like, really?
You too?
Even that girl at the end of the night was like, did you really? I was like, yes, once upon a time.
We've all been there once.
The sense of like everyone behind us, because we was towards the front,
Yeah.
and everyone was seeing us anyway because of the jackets we had on, and obviously the attention we got from people like Russell Kane and Sam Fairs and Luana before the show. People already recognised us. Yeah. It was funny. They were like, what? Yes. But having said that, I still don't know if pushing really hard on a clit would hurt.
Yeah.
Girls, tell us. Does that sort of stuff hurt? I honestly thought at that point she was going to say that it was really nice.
Yeah. I thought that's where he was going.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Wow.
Warning to us all.
God, the next one is again another anonymous. I'm not surprised these are anonymous stories. To be honest. People don't want to call name themselves. But this one says, I accidentally ripped off half my foreskin while having sex. Went to the ER and had it reattached. At the first checkup a few days later, the urologist at the hospital said, "Oh, it's you." Rescued the situation when he asked me, "Just what kind of hell sex was you having?" My response was simply, "The fun kind." Now, you might not know this as a circumcised person.
Indeed.
However, I can relate to this a little bit. I've not ripped off a foreskin per se, but I have injured it during the act, shall we say, and it can be fucking painful.
Okay.
So
I mean, it is attached to your body at the end of the day.
But my response to that would be either if you're having sex with a guy, and this is a gay guy, then you need to be using more lube. And if you're having sex with a girl, you're not doing nothing right, because if it's dry as fuck, then you got a problem, babes. So I don't know who this is, but my response would be, if it's a girl, you're going wrong somewhere.
Get the Vagisil out.
And if it's a guy, then use more lube, babes. Use more lube.
Use more lube.
Or find a looser guy. I don't know. Don't know what the answer to that is. Oh, that fucking hurts as well.
Dear.
God, this next one's a little bit long.
Okay.
So this is a surgeon. So he says, this is a surgeon here was doing a varicose vein surgery on a very posh middle-aged lady, very cut glass accent. There was an anaesthetic involved that we use sometimes which induced some kind of hallucination or even either going under or coming out of the anaesthetic, and heard some funny things in my time. Anyway, this lady was in recovery, just coming out of the anaesthetic. The team were around her, trying to wake her up and gag a little on the tube in her throat, which was for breathing, so she's been put under, right? So we knew it was time to remove the tube. She gagged, we removed the tube, she smacked her lips and said loudly in her incredibly posh accent, "That's the best bit of cock I've had in years." The whole recovery room just fell about laughing. Luckily, she didn't remember it. God, do you imagine like waking up at surgery and actually telling everyone that you're a massive cocksucker?
Oh dear. Well, I mean, yeah, that's. I've never had a tube down my throat.
I mean, I've had quite a lot down my throat before, but I've never had a tube down my throat. Oh, actually, no, that's lies. I was when I had my tummy tuck, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Fucking hell.
I better start fantasy more.
Everyone now knows that she's a massive cocksucker.
The joys of general anaesthetic.
The next one is again another anonymous story. Please give us your names on these things. Anyway, this says, went about an anal problem. The doctor put his finger up to check all was okay. I made a slight noise and he asked if I was okay. And this is when I said, "That's nice," instead of "That's okay." Oh, that's nice. Imagine.
That's even worse than the "pay me like one of your French girls" comment.
Like one of your French girls.
That's nice.
In the heat of the moment, we can say stuff.
Don't I know it?
That was like a few episodes back when that girl during sex accidentally said "fuck my little cock" instead of like "fuck my pussy."
Yeah, sometimes your mouth goes faster than your brain can.
Oh yeah, girl, like it does. It does. My mouth goes faster and my brain tells me I've made a lot of bad decisions.
As I said, my mouth gets me into a lot of trouble.
Yes, yeah. So this is the last one. The last story just says, I had a patient come in for an STD check. She was very upset and continued to tell me that she only ever had one partner. Progressing through my assessment, she further divulged even if he was sleeping with other people, it shouldn't matter because he uses the condom every time and he makes sure to wash it thoroughly after every use. I asked what she meant when she said he washes it after every use, and she explained that he washed the condom with hot water and soap before we used the condom on her again, so they would use the same one.
Oh my god.
Fucking hell. Firstly, there's two things about this story. If she's saying that if he was sleeping with other people, it wouldn't matter because she uses a condom every time. Firstly, that is not the right way to go about things. No. If he's sleeping with lots of other people, regardless if you're using a condom, you need to sort yourself out, babes, and be careful. But secondly, if you're washing a condom out...
That's disgusting.
That's fucking rank.
Also, he's fucking cheapskate as well.
You can go to a clinic and get them for free. I don't understand that.
You need to dump that guy.
Well, I imagine after this you probably did, because that's fucking rank.
That's disgusting.
What's just turning it inside out?
They're not underpants. I wouldn't do that with underpants.
Oh. Maybe she should get one of those cloth ones we were talking about a couple of episodes ago. What sort of wrong'un must you be to be in a relationship where you just wash it with soapy water and think that's acceptable? Fuck me.
Don't they teach... That's even basic, like, sex education at school. Surely you learn that at school.
I didn't even have sex ed at school. Right. I didn't have it. I was off when that happened. And even I know that that's not acceptable. That's fucking rank.
That is rank. That is rank.
Actual fuck.
Honestly,
I'm going to call bullshit on this story because I just can't imagine unless people like tell me.
There's some fucking idiots in this world.
Are people that naive?
There's some fucking idiots in this world.
oh yeah, let's just like, I'm talking about, I'm all for cost of living crisis and things like that, but when I'm drawing the line at turning a condom inside out or washing it out with soapy water to use it. Maybe, but then again, maybe because she thinks that they're only having sex with each other, that they can just use the same one.
Yeah, just put a bit of anti-bac on as lube.
Oh.
No, don't do that. Do not do that.
Absolutely fucking rank. Anyway, yeah, so I feel filthy after listening to some of them.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
You know. Anyway, stories aside, I've got a little test for you.
Okay.
For this episode.
Let's give this a go.
So keeping with STIs, because we've started now, so we'll finish. Which is what gets us in these situations a lot. There's a few phrases, shall we say, modern phrases, to describe STIs, which I thought were quite funny when I was reading these stories.
And we all know how good
I'm going to test your knowledge on these phrases, and you tell me, some of them are really obvious, some of them are not. Tell me either what you think they are, or why they're called that, right? Okay. So there's only 4. So strap yourself in. Okay. Strap yourself up. The first one is obviously the clap.
That's chlamydia. So
why is it called that? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
Actually, is it chlamydia? Because this says it isn't.
The clap. I've always thought it was.
So, again, fact check me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But this says this is shortened from the French term for brothel, which is clapier.
Okay.
And a primitive treatment that involved clapping the penis between your hands to squeeze out the pus that is common with gonorrhea.
Oh, okay.
Clap the penis to squeeze out the pus.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe so. Have you ever had the clap?
I've never had the clap.
You ain't going to say that on this podcast, you fucking liar. Fucking liar.
I've never had the clap.
Yeah, all right. The next one's called the drip. Or the morning drip.
Oh, I'm guessing that's when you have like a leaky penis.
Oh, God.
I'm guessing that's why it's called the drip.
So this one is named after the dripping discharge commonly associated with gonorrhea. Imagine calling in sick, I got the drip. Can't come in today, I got morning drip.
Oh, disgusting. I mean, to be honest, would managers even know what it is? I don't know.
You'd hope not. You'd hope not. If you're using that as an excuse not to go into work.
Yeah, exactly. Would it all? Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, I'm exaggerating it. I'm hoping nobody would ever use that as an excuse. What about the clam?
I mean, that's got to be chlamydia. That's got to be chlamydia because chlamydia.
So, shortened version of the name chlamydia that plays on the use of the phrase the clam as a euphemism for the female genitals. Okay. Got clam, love. How did you get a clam? I hate it.
I mean, it's not a nice thing to have in the first place. But
there's never a nice word.
Don't give them nice names anyway. Maybe that's why they always just...
Doesn't chlamydia just sound like a really posh border?
Well, we in a previous episode, it's a child's name.
Chlamydia. I'm going out of chlamydia tonight. Fucking hell. Next one's junk funk. Fucking hell, I just read them.
Oh, is that like genital wart or something?
It's not genital warts, no.
But fungus.
Along those lines. Junk funk is the slang term for a yeast infection or a smelly pussy. Oh, I ain't fucking her again, she's got junk funk. Oh, God.
That's interesting, though, because like I would associate the word junk with male genitals, not female genitals.
I don't know.
Either way, it's disgusting.
Well, this is slang for a smelly puss.
Well, there we go. Don't want to get that junk funk.
Oh my God, the next one, I don't even want I love this one.
Come on, man.
It's called cunt crop. We don't ever bleep the word cunt out. We'll probably live to regret that in
years to come.
In years to come. But this one's cunt crop.
Cunt crop.
Yeah.
Is that something growing out of your fanny or something?
Very close. This is a vagina that grows many STIs. Fuck me, she's got cunt crop.
What, is she a farmer?
She's had everyone. She's got cunt crop.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That is my favourite one by far, and I think that has to be the title of this episode.
She's got a bit of the cunt
crop. Don't go near her. She's got cunt crop.
That is rank. I mean, as I said, like, they're not nice things to have in the first place. Don't give them pretty names.
I fucking love that. I love that phrase. I'm going to have to use that. Oh, have you heard about her?
Got a case of the
cunt. Going right cunt crop over there. All right. Let's quit using that word now, although it is going to be the title of this episode.
Well, there we go. I got some of them, and not all of them.
Yeah. I mean, you was on the right lines. Oh my god, I haven't spoken about our personalised wine. Look, Between the Wines podcast wine.
Yeah, all over the room in our.
Managed to fucking plug nice wines, but we didn't plug our own.
I know.
Oh no, I've just changed the colour of the. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So we've had stories, we've had phrases. Let's put a bit of audio in here.
Oh yeah, let's throw in a bit of audio.
Let's put a little bit of audio in here. Just a couple of things that we found quite funny.
Yeah, indeed.
Again, keeping in the realm of STIs / doctor mishaps.
Things the doctor saw.
Yeah. So let's play the first one.
Here we go.
I had a patient come in who was experiencing some pain in his back passage. So I put some gloves on and I examined his back passage. While I'm examining, this guy's like moving and wiggling. Usually after a rectal examination, you need to examine the glove to see if there's any blood or anything else abnormal. I examined my glove. It split. No amount of hand washing for the next 24 hours could get that feeling off my finger.
Well, he's obviously never had a grinder hook up then, has he? If that's how scarred he is, that his fucking glove ripped, God, he's lived a sheltered life.
I mean, some of the shit, quite literally some of the shit doctors have to deal with is bad enough.
God, if he was looking for blood, that's the least of his problems. Oh, I bet it got all under his nails. Ugh.
Disgusting.
What's worse is if he went like this, started eating his food at lunch.
That's a surefire trip to the STI clinic, surely.
God.
That's rank. I mean, I don't know why. That maybe during that story, it made me think a bit about, you get a bit squeamish about picking up dog poo. And whilst I wouldn't pick it up with my fingers or my hands, like in a tissue, I'd pick it up. But I don't know. I think that would be too much for me.
Oh God, you need to look at your PPE equipment, love, and where you're getting your gloves from. Is it from Temu? It's got some Temu hospital gloves.
I mean, I know the NHS has got some cuts, but Jesus, spend some money on it, please, for the good of the doctors.
Oh, I hope he had a nice nail brush, because that can be very messy.
Oh, you'd want to put your hand in acid afterwards, wouldn't you, just to make sure you killed it off?
It depends on what the person looks like.
True.
I suppose.
True.
I mean, if it was Kit Connor or someone like that fucking coming in for an anal examination, I probably wouldn't be as in much of a rush to wash my hands, shall I say?
Well, that's true. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Oh, poor thing. I mean, what's more embarrassing, really, is if he took his hand out this man's arse, and that poor man that's had his finger up his arse sees that his glove's ripped. I'm like, what, have I got fucking barbed wire in my arsehole? It's like that film Teeth.
Oh, that's the second time we mentioned that film on this podcast.
Yeah. Oh God, we've all been there. Well, we've not all been there, to be honest. But we've all stuffed our hand in places which were not welcomed, I suppose. No, that sounds really rapey, don't it? I don't really like that. I mean, we've all done stuff which we've retrieved said hand and been like, oh.
I don't know why, and can't believe I'm going to say this, but when you just said, it could be worse, I suddenly thought, imagine if you pulled your finger out and suddenly started gushing out.
Oh, like a river.
Like a dam exploding.
Like a brown river. Like a diarrhea situation.
Ugh, no, let's move on.
Oh, it always turns like talking about shit on this podcast, don't it? I'm surprised people still listen. Oh God. Dear. Well, anyway, moving on from that, let's listen to the second one.
This guy went to the emergency room because he had something inside him that shouldn't have been there. This dude here was feeling a little frisky, so he decided to take a 5-pound dumbbell, 8 inches long, and shoved it inside himself for pleasure. Now, I imagine this was very uncomfortable for him, but he quickly realized that he couldn't get the dumbbell out by himself, and after 2 whole days, he went to the emergency emergency room to get some help. He went in there complaining about having really bad stomach pain and being nauseous, but he didn't tell them what he did. Once they took the x-ray, they found out for themselves what he did. And the doctor quickly realized that there was only one way to remove that dumbbell from inside the guy. They had to do it manually. One of the doctors literally took their arm, went in through the back door, and pulled that thing out. But it was successful. The guy was fine and he was discharged from the hospital 3 days later.
Okay, I got fisted in
Oh
the
my
end.
God,
He got fisted!
how stretched out is that guy's hole?
Why as well? Like, with things like this, why can't you just buy a dildo or like a butt plug? Maybe you should have asked that man for that at the car accident if he could borrow his butt plug.
But that can't be pleasurable. That's got to hurt.
Well,
How do you not rip it?
Well, you would think, wouldn't you? I've seen these sort of things on like embarrassing not embarrassing bodies, embarrassing ER stories, embarrassing A&E stories, where people put things up like that. But a fucking dumbbell.
I mean, that takes time and dedication.
Oh,
I don't know whether to praise him or say you're a fucking moron.
Well, I've seen the X-ray of this person, and you can see it in his body. Like, you can actually see the dumbbell.
Do you think it hurts more going in or coming out again?
I would imagine. I don't know. Like, I'm not about to start checking. I go into my when I look in my bedroom tonight and see the dumbbells in the corner and just like look at them with disgust. Now I'll be like, looking at that is fucking is. I mean, that's quite impressive in a way.
Also, like, in your bum, there's bones, right? So, like, where does the bone start? And aren't you, like, I don't know.
I don't know, because people do, like people do get fisted, don't they? And you can see,
I know, but
you see
that,
it.
a fist
So
compared to a dumbbell.
Well, it's only a £5 one.
Yeah, but still, they're still quite large, round.
Yeah, but I imagine
heads.
it's the same kind of. I imagine it's the same width as a fist.
think-
I
yeah,
don't know.
maybe-
I'm not an
Yeah,
expert
no,
in
that's fair.
shoving big dumbbells up my arse, so I don't know. But I will say I have seen the X-ray, and it does look fucking. It looks like, for me, it looks like something out of a Saw film.
It's painful. Yeah, something out of the film was right.
Well, listen, he got hospitalised for 3 days because of it, and he had to get fisted. So you fucking deserve it.
Yeah,
and also
exactly.
the fact that he kept it a couple of days before going to the hospital.
I know. How do you
It's
forget
fucking
that?
mental.
Yeah.
don't
The
know.
butt plug was one thing.
Oh.
Can you imagine being the paramedic? Look at
You'd
that.
want to be in the triage with him, wouldn't you? If you were the butt plug man, you'd want to be in the triage room because you wouldn't look as bad. Fuck me, I thought it was bad me having a butt plug and my wife's panties on. This cunt's put a fucking dumbbell up his arse.
You know how, like, in tube stations they have these codes for, like, Inspector Sands if there's a fire? I wonder if hospitals have, like, come into surgery
Yeah.
room number 2, there's a guy with a dumbbell up his arse and then we can all watch.
Fucking hell. How disgusting. But
That's...
anyway, just going back to the lovely Stuart, we called him.
Yes.
His name's actually Samuel.
Oh, I'm really sorry, Samuel.
So we're very sorry. We're
I had the
on
right
the right
first letter.
lines. Yeah,
I
it's an improvement because when we did the Brighton episode, I couldn't fucking remember that. Remember
Those
those
two
girls?
girls, yeah.
Remember those two girls? I couldn't fucking remember. I still don't to this day know their names. So the fact that we got it along the S route,
Yeah, exactly.
is fucking good for us.
Well done, us.
So yeah, just to rectify, is that a word?
We're talking about a lot of recting.
Clarify.
Clarify.
Just to clarify, his name was Samuel.
Samuel.
And he was fucking incredible on the night. So thank you so much for giving us content. And thank you for inspiring this episode.
Absolutely.
So this, we'll just dedicate this whole episode to Samuel.
/ Stuart.
Yeah. But yeah, with all that, I think it's time to go cleanse and put away the dumbbells, to be honest, after that.
Yeah. Lube up, douche.
Lube up! Fucking hell.
Do whatever you gotta do.
If you are listening to this, this has been okayed to be aired, to be released, because it's been quite the episode. But yeah, just to reiterate, massive thank you to everybody that came to the Royal George last week to celebrate the live pod. We really appreciate it. It was a fucking good night.
Brilliant night.
Thank you for everyone that supported us, for the kind words, the content, getting involved, the gifts, everything. That we're really super, super grateful.
Yeah.
As always, please. I must also, before we sign off, the Lefanians that have started to listen to us as well.
Oh, yes. Welcome
Massive
to our
thank you
new
to
listeners.
any of the wonderful Lefanians that have listened to our podcast as well as
Absolutely.
theirs. So we just going to shout you out and say we love you and thank
We
you
do
so
indeed.
much as well. But yeah, please follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, Amazon Prime, all that jazz.
Like us, subscribe, leave a comment. Give us 5-star rating.
Please spread the word.
Yeah.
Just like these STIs in this episode, please spread the word. We're hoping we can spread this a lot easier, although that is debatable.
And it's longer lasting than...
Yeah, essentially we're the STI that you can't get rid of, right?
But why would you want to?
Why would you want to? We're one that you want to live with.
Exactly.
I say that. Please also head over to TikTok, follow us at RBTW Official.
Yeah, exactly.
We do post videos sometimes.
We do.
We ain't done it lately, but I promise you a compilation is coming. So yeah, post live podcast episode done.
Yep.
And normal service will resume
From here on in,
and we will see you on the next one.
Yeah, we will do. Yeah, thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.